Hey guys, hope everyone's having a lovely day. Hope everyone's having an awesome day. This is Frankie and I'm back with another World of Tanks video. Today's video is episode 2 of most imbalanced maps in World of Tanks. And the second most imbalanced map in the game currently is called Mines. Mines, in my opinion, it is one of the most controversial maps and one of the most talked about and probably hated in the World of Tanks community as well. When you look at Tomato GG, which is one of the most accurate and reliable websites concerning World of Tanks content and statistics, you find that this map actually has a south win ratio, a south spawn win ratio on the EU server, and standard battle mode, it has a south win ratio of 52% win rate. Meanwhile, the north spawn's win rate is 45.65%. There is approximately over 6% of win rate disparity, which is, that's a lot, considering that the most imbalanced map, which is we talked about on the first video of this series called Mountain Pass, had a 8% disparity. So what does that mean? That is just, in my opinion, very weird, considering that most of the community would agree that the north spawn is actually a winning spawn, meaning that if you get spawned on the north on this map, there is a high chance that you're going to win the game, compared to the south spawn where you really don't have much to do. And one of the reasons many players argue that the north spawn is actually a winning spawn because of the hill. Once you take the hill, which you usually do on the north because it's easier to get there, you take less damage, and it's closer to the north to get there than it is for the south. I find that to be like very weird and very interesting, since many content creators and World of Tanks streamers have already spoken about this map. As you can see here, I'll show you a few screenshots. They've made videos. They have constantly talked about how this map is super imbalanced and have basically requested from Wargaming and begged Wargaming to do something about this map to make it even more balanced. But Wargaming has not responded. But when you look at the stats, none of that is actually real. It's the complete opposite. And now let's discuss why maybe the South is having more advantages and why the stats are the way that they are now. So before I actually decided to make this video, I thought maybe I could ask, second opinions about see what the people think about this topic, and why I didn't just ask about this map, Mines, but I asked about Mountain Pass as well in this post, as you can see right here, and just to see what people thought, why the result seems to be quite the opposite of what the community experience and the opposite of what the community thinks the results to actually be. But I got no replies. The only reply I get is somebody trying to scam me with Telegram. So I decided just to make this video and give my my thoughts on the situation and on the topic overall. Now, when we talk about standard battle mines, it's understandable, in my opinion, why the South is winning. Why? Because I think most people have actually gotten used to how to play the map from the South spawn. But when it comes to this same map, but on encounter battle, where you usually, as you can see here, have the base on the east part of the map, that makes it pretty much impossible to win from the South spawn. Almost impossible, because I think the win rate disparity between the North and South is not that huge. As you can see here for encounter mode, where the win rate disparity between the North spawn and the South spawn is just above 2%, is because due to the matchmaking, first, sometimes it gives South faster tanks, and it gives the South faster tanks than the North, or sometimes you have players on the North that really don't know how to play this one properly. So usually it's like the South players are either really good and better than the North players, the North spawn players, or the matchmaker is kind of balancing things out a little bit. Now, why do I think in encounter mode, this map seems to be a winner from the North spawn, even though from the standard battle, it is a winner from the South spawn, is because the North spawn is closer to get to here. When you have a map like this, and you have the base closer to the North spawn than from the South spawn, and you have also the high ground, which happens to be in the middle of the map, in a key position because it can provide positions and line of fire to multiple positions on the map. What does that mean? Since it's closer to the North spawn, especially in encounter, that now, if the enemy team is smart, or if the North spawn team is smart, they can take the base and take the high ground, which usually does happen. It does happen. Once they start capping and they have the upper ground, the South cannot do anything to reclaim the base or decap the base because they will just get farmed from the hill, which means they are screwed. In encounter battle, this map should not... I think Wargaming should either obviously rework the map, or if they don't want to rework the map, they just remove encounter. And that is it. And that's how you fix it. That's the only solution. But I don't want to talk about an encounter. I'm going to just focus on standard battle and why I think it's just super imbalanced. It's the second most imbalanced map currently after Mountain Pass. So the South Spawn is winning more. And the reasons why the South Spawn is winning more, even though they seem to be at a super disadvantageous positions, it's because the people have actually adapted to how they can play this game. And basically the answer to that is just you have to camp, and that's what people do. So usually what happens is they have the southern spawn team plays from here, lurks the north spawn team here, where TDs can provide fire support, and if they have this position here, that means these players will have to fall back somewhere around here. And also, when the northern spawn team are playing from this side, they usually can get targeted by SPGs that are sitting here. So usually they have to fall back somewhere around here. And when they're playing from here, if they try to be a little bit more aggressive, or from this side or from this side, they can get farmed from the TDs that are camping and the sniper medium tanks from here, or usually also from here. That is why this position is very important to hold from the north spawn, because what usually it happens is people think, okay, we just need to take the hill. We take the hill, it's GG. We take these positions and we're good. No, this map is not how that's played, okay? You need this position here. It's also important because you don't want the players from here to farm your team from this side. That is very important. And you want to try to figure out how you can push this, because they can also farm them from here. They can fire at anyone who would try to peek from this side to shoot the southern spawn team here that is playing from here. So as a north spawn team, you would try to figure out how you can push this. Lower their hit points. The southern team players, the southern spawn team players that are playing here, you need to figure out how you can lower their hit points. That is very important. And then you try to push it to take care of anyone who's sitting here. And then it's basically, well, now the southern team is even more boxed, like here. And I think it's also one of the reasons why, the northern spawn team players are actually losing more, because they don't give this any kind of importance. They just think it's all about the hill, which is completely wrong. It also depends on the western side of the map, which is pretty much very important. That's at least in my opinion. I'm not saying the hill is not important. Obviously, the hill, it is very important, but that doesn't mean that this site is completely irrelevant, because it can still provide some fire support from the distance. And that's basically what's happening. If you don't take this side, you'll have people that are gonna, from the southern team, the southern spawn team players are gonna push the island. Once they push the islands, they can spot your TDs, who cannot, provide the fire support for when the southern team players try to push like this. So I've seen it happen many times where, once these guys get spotted, they get eliminated. Once those guys get eliminated, usually our SPG players also take one for the team. And then, it's basically now just a farming. It's just about farming the rest. Even though if they still have the hill, it's completely irrelevant for them to have the hill, because these guys will completely get farmed, and then they will, the TDs that are left in the back will just push alongside the heavy tanks who are left with the medium tanks and clean the hill. That's basically what I think is happening for the majority of the game, and why it's basically the southern spawn is very important. I think, there are some mistakes that are happening, and there is also people are becoming more aware about this map and how to play it. They have adapted on how to play this map, what strategies they use. Just basically camp at the back and be patient and defend this side and from here and here. And usually I also noticed that this position from the northern spawn team seems to be get neglected a lot, which is very important. I mean, it's not like super necessary, but you need at least 2 tanks here, 1 or 2 tanks here, and tanks providing support fire, so the southern team players cannot get here to where they can actually farm the northern spawn team players there. So that's basically all I have for you today for this video. I hope you liked it. Please share with me your opinion. Let me know what you think. Did I miss anything, any important point that I should have highlighted or mentioned? But, let me know what you think. Share it with your friends. Please like this video if you liked it. and subscribe if you would like to see more content like this. I'll basically make other videos about map strategies and why the win rate disparity in them is quite significant. I'll also be asking your opinions on on some certain maps because I don't seem to understand why they have the disparity that they do. So yeah, take care. Hope you found this video at least a little bit interesting or thought-provoking or informative, and see you soon.